when you look to take the next step in your operation and your strategy of your company, what do you look at? How do you come across the biggest opportunity to move forward? And sometimes that's pretty obvious, sometimes it's not. But what are those steps that you take? Have you ever thought about that? Do you have a planning cycle? What do those steps look like in your planning cycle? Often I come across, businesses that don't have a planning cycle. They don't have a solid structure to their business. So I always think back to my model that I've come up with that I think really kind of helps clarify those steps forward. And it's hard. It's really hard when you're running a business, especially a smaller business, when you're running those businesses that require hands-on execution from the ownership. So this is what I specialize in. I really get into the weeds and the details and really understand what's going on in the business, put some structure around the business, really framing out what steps we need to take together, and at the end of the day, we need to deliver results. So I really start with one, really understanding the stability of the business. Are we stable? Yes or no? Do we constantly firefight? Are we always chasing our tails every single week, every single day, every single hour? Two, do we need to standardize? Do we have things that are happening in our processes that are unpredictable? When we have unpredictability, your results are going to vary, right? And that just makes perfect sense. But how do we become more predictable and repeatable in everything we do? And I think that is the backbone of any strong operation or any strong business. Three is really to standardize your approach, but optimize. So when you optimize your approach, you're thinking about, okay, I'm stable, I'm standard. Now, how do I take the next step? And how do I make this easier? How do I start to cut out some steps in my business? And sometimes you can take a look and do standardize and optimize together, but optimize, you're really looking at how technology can help me. How can the AI revolution help me? How can the things like cool dashboards help me operate? All too often I see businesses try to get to that optimize phase without really understanding the details and of stabilizing and standardizing a business. So those are key. I think ultimately you have to operate within a model that makes sense for every single business. So I come in, really understand where a business is at, and under the stabilize, standardize, and optimize, really getting a good feel for what are the things that we need to focus on and bring back as our return on investment. So I wanted to share that in retrospect to some of the things that I've been thinking about, and especially with a video here of just like this, to give people a perspective about what I do and how I could help. But also, if you're struggling, you're not alone. And I think that's the biggest thing to take away from this video is, I see a ton of businesses just trying to do too much. And when you have a really great focus and a real simple priority, and you attack that, you start to gain results and you start to see a little bit more of that return that you're looking for. So just wanted to share that. I think ultimately, everybody's doing the best they can. But if you're ever interested, I've got a free assessment looking at how we can grow together. No harm, no foul, but a free assessment of my time, 2 hours, sit down with you, understand where some of the things are in your business, and under that model of stability, standardization, and optimization. So every business is going to be different, but we'll sit down, we'll put a custom approach together that makes sense to you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Have a great day. God bless.